When you remove layers, simplicity and speed happen. Ginni Rometty. My friends, each and every day, 10 to 15 minutes, that is what we are looking to do. To remove layers, to make it simple, to speed up and make more accurate our analysis. Now, my friends, we have been short the markets now when I'm talking about stocks in particular, bonds too, for the last many days, and it just keeps on going down. I want to give you this warning as we're all very happy having cashed in on our practice trades, and I always put that practice trade in there. We're not a stock calling service. You don't pay us anything. We are not out there giving you real trading advice. We're an education firm. We want you to practice trade with us, and then when you learn, you make your own decisions. But you have seen how accurate we have been over these last few weeks as things have been heating up and the market has been plummeting down. I want to give you a warning. Please remember, in the world that we live in, where so much that's affecting the market right now is politics, it's just going to take a few words by President Trump to all of a sudden cause a massive upsurge in the market. Now, we can also have negative words that cause it just to continue to hammer down. So pay close attention in your practice trades. Be aware of the effects of political actors, the effects of other countries, the effects of all sorts of things. Yes, we have every reason to believe this market's going to continue to move down, but it could stop at any moment. That is why we have to be careful, agile, ready to act. Now let's talk about where we are as we end this week. We look at the S&P 500 and you can see it just accelerating down. Look at all the volume. Going back here 5 weeks now, just we had, those dojis, those lines of dojis that lined up after the market peaked, and then starting on that week, the 2nd of March, things just started hammering down, and throughout the month of March, they have been accelerating and hammering down, blown through both of our potential support levels. And of course, they did that in earnest back on Thursday, the 19th. Well, actually before that, pushing through on the Tuesday, Wednesday, 17 and 18, but really in their own on the 19th, and then just continuing to blast down. So we are short the S&P 500. For those of you who wanted something to trade, we kept telling you, hey, you have SH with all the caveats that go along with an inverse fund and all that training that we've put out over and over again for you to start learning how, if you don't already know, to practice trade inverse funds, the good, the bad, and the ugly about them. That's been going well for us. Of course, if you've taken our 3-part series, Options Made Simple, available to all of our Patreon members, the minute you sign up, you get the 3-part series. What's it about? Well, it is about how to trade puts on something like this on the S&P. So again, you're interested in options, we have the training for you. If you don't have the book, you get that also when you become a Patreon member. Enough about Patreon, but thank you so much for all who help underwrite the channel and support us here. S&P down 1.71%, just a hammer down on Friday. Be careful as this new week starts. We can expect, as we have seen, things, going down and then popping up, going down, popping up. So be careful, expect to hit lower lows and lower highs. And again, if there is some news that potentially solves what's going on in Ukraine, in Iran, wherever it may be, you might see some, good news that could run these markets in the opposite direction, but we have a lot of pressure pushing them back down again potentially. Now, the NASDAQ 100 down almost 2% for the day, 1.95%. Again, you can see all the volume. This first day of the latest 2-day candle, we're over halfway toward that average volume. Ended the week above average volume with a bigger candle than we've seen for many, many, many weeks. And again, markets just continuing to hammer down. What about bonds? They've continued to pull back, also reaching a lower low. And down 0.55%. 3 weeks of just stair steps down. after that classic turnover. We didn't have the volume to back. I'm sorry, we did have the volume to back that up. There was, maybe it was the gold that we didn't have the volume to back it up. That's right, it was gold, not bonds. Bonds, classical turnover, we had right at average volume with the interim high. We had a red spinning top with above average volume, and then the stair steps down. No surprise, down again today. It did pop up this week on Wednesday, and then, of course, trash down on Thursday and Friday. So we are, again, short bonds. You might say, what's the short bond fund? I've told you that several times this week. Tango, Bravo, Foxtrot, TBF, that's the ProShare single short. And, of course, that's been stair steps going up. Again, these inverse funds, the inverse bond fund, just like the inverse stock and other funds, are set percentage for percentage. The price is not the same, but the percentage change typically is very close to that. That's the way the people that run the funds have it set up with derivatives in order to mimic the opposite of the underlying fund. So we are short bonds. Now gold, after booming down, it's been all around. We saw gold start to move over all the way back on the 11th of March, all red until we saw an upsurge on Wednesday in the morning, slacking off a little in the afternoon, then going back down on Thursday, then popping up on Friday. Is gold finding a bottom here? Can't tell you that, but you can see that maybe it's trying to find one. It's pushed through the horizontal line that we had there for potential support. That was the low during the week of beginning the 2nd of February after gold pulled way back after that high of highs. And again, has pushed through that. Maybe gold's trying to find a bottom here. We'll keep an eye on things. But again, we are still, after 2 weeks of strong down movement with average volume, we are still what? We are still negative on gold. But again, we're watching, we're waiting, we're seeing, we're paying close attention. If you've ridden it all the way down from here, then of course you don't want to lose what you've gained. But at the same time, you don't want to sell and watch it roll back over. So pay attention as we get into Monday as to what gold's up to. If there's a systemic crash, market just keeps hammering down, hemorrhaging, you can expect everything to go down because people are covering their shorts. Let's look at what's up with Bitcoin. Bitcoin pulling back strong for the day, 3.62%. And of course, we kept saying this. We had those 2 weeks of tried up movement, the week beginning the 5th of January, 12th of January, and then Bitcoin crashed again. We had the 2 weeks beginning the 9th of March and the 16th of March, and then Bitcoin rolling over, breaking the trend line clearly this week, below it on the 2-day and the half-day. We will continue to keep an eye on Bitcoin. Now, we still could be trying to make a bottom here. We haven't crashed through where the low was. And you know what we could do here just to help ourselves out? We can go over here and we can put in for ourselves a horizontal line right here at the low that it hit before. And we will put that there. So again, that's a potential level of support. We've hit it twice, right? 2 weeks. We tagged right there on it, and we'll see if Bitcoin crashes through that. Has a ways to go before it stops. We do have another Bitcoin line, and of course you can see that goes all the way back to August the 5th, 2024, the week beginning then. So we'll put this new line in here and see just how Bitcoin shapes up over the next week. Does it find a bottom? Does it actually rally? It could. But once it crashes through that line, it's got, a ways to go before it hits another potential level of support that at least we have noted. That is where we are, my friends. And don't forget the inverse fund for Bitcoin. Here's one to play around with. I've actually real traded this one successfully. It is BITI. That is the single short, again, a ProShare short fund of the Bitcoin ETF. And you can see that it's quite liquid, only 4 cents between the bid and the ask. This is always for newbies here. When you hear liquidity, what's liquidity? That means the difference between the buy and the sell is minuscule. I would say 4 cents on a $27.38 ETF is pretty minuscule. Of course, what's total liquidity is something like the US dollar. You get $1, you can trade it in for $1. What's illiquid? Oh, buying a brand new car. You buy it for $80,000 and the next day you want to turn it back in or sell it, and you can sell it for $55,000. That's what you call an illiquid asset. We do look at things. That's the reason we don't have a short fund for you for gold. DGZ, I spoke about this yesterday, is a short fund for gold. But the problem is, look at the bid and the ask. I mean, that's tremendous, 58 cents. I mean, on a $5.18 ETF. Ain't going to be buying that, my friends. You lose that much per share just jumping in. And for a $5.18 stock, losing 58 cents, no thank you. That's why, again, if you know how to buy and sell, well, that is practice trade puts on gold, you can do that. That's why, again, having skills is always good. Hope you guys have a great weekend. So appreciate you being with us. Patreon members, thank you so much for all your support. Always love to hear from you folks. CW@chartingwealth.com. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth. Be sure to give us a like.